GF had an affair with an older colleague. Hey everyone, this is my first time ever posting on Reddit, but I think this might be a good place for me to start. I've been seeing a girl I met in my new job, 3.5 months. I work in an airport as a disability aide, and she works in baggage screening. Things have been going really well since we met on my first day. We hit it off so fast, and there was an instant connection. I've been avoiding relationships since me and my ex had a pretty rough breakup a year and a half ago, so I was so shocked that I connected with somebody so fast and felt so hard. She told me she was very sexually active in her past when she was a student, sleeping with over 60 people, and that she'd been with someone she works with only a month before we'd met. It turns out the guy she was sleeping with had a partner and kids, and he didn't tell her, or so she said. This made me very uncomfortable because he was twice her age, and I'd also have to see him every day when I passed through security, but I assured her that someone's past doesn't matter, which is true. Things were going great with us over the past few months. I met her parents, and she met mine, and even went to family events and dinners. Her family genuinely loved me and kept inviting me. But the affair with her colleague kept popping back up in my head, and I eventually had to tell her about this and just ask for a day or two to be alone with my own thoughts and process these things. I reassured her that she'd done nothing wrong, and I just never gave myself time to settle with the idea. 2 weeks ago, I said this to her. Her father invited me to his retirement party a few days after this, and she was unsure if I was coming. I told her I still would and that giving myself time alone with my thoughts really helped me. So fast forward a few days, and I leave work early to go to the party, and everything goes amazing. I meet her extended family, her father's partner, and her kids, and then stay at hers afterwards. We are completely back on track, and things are amazing, or so I thought. She went out with work friends 2 nights ago, and I went out too. We all have a good time, and she has too many drinks, so I get us a taxi back to her brother's house, where she's staying, and put her on the couch and get her comfy clothes out of the car for her. She's asleep when I get back, and her phone is open next to her. I can see a guy's name on the screen, and I get a gut feeling to look, so I did, and I saw she was texting him all night about how sexy he is and how he misses her ass. I couldn't stop thinking about the last night they were together, and she was even sending him pictures while she was waiting for me to pick her up to go out. This man is in his mid-40s with a wife and kids, and my now ex-wife is 24. I confront her instantly, asking why she is cheating on me with such and such from work, and she punches me, kicks me, and just keeps shouting, "Who told me?" And at this point, I call her brother out of bed to help stop her as she's hitting me. I get my younger brother to pick me up and take me home, and I text her AP that if he doesn't tell his wife, then I will tell her about him, and he begins to tell me how he's sorry, how he overdosed during the summer, and that he is ducked up in the head. I say, I don't care. He has 3 days to tell his wife, then tells me he is sorry again and to give him 2 weeks so that he can say goodbye to his kids and so his wife can get his body back from America, where he is on holiday. Again, I just say 3 days, and he says, "Thank you." End quote. I then blocked him and proceeded to block her on everything. I've told important people that I work with so that they all know now that she has broken up 2 marriages of people she works with in the space of 6 months, and I've also gone to HR to report his threats of suicide, so almost all of the airport now knows. She has now made contact with a friend of mine, saying how much she loves me and that she messed up so badly that she has lost not only her boyfriend but her best friend. She has asked said friend to tell me to go to her house tomorrow to collect my things and that she wants a drawing she gave me back, which I've already burned. What should I do from here, as I've never been in this position? P.S. I've also ordered an STI test. Wife is out, getting laid right now. I never thought I'd be here, but here I am. This weekend, my wife, 38F, and our daughter, 13F, went to visit her mom. I couldn't go because I couldn't get the time off work, and we decided it would just be a girls' weekend for them. I'm a firefighter in a large southern city, and I'm on a call and gearing up when our dispatcher calls in to tell me that there is some emergency. I'm not really needed on the work call, so I get my cell phone and find a bunch of texts from my kid and a couple from a number I don't have in my phone. In the course of about 11 text messages, I learned that my daughter has gone ice skating and fallen and broken her wrist. She's in the emergency room but cannot get treatment because no one can find my wife. The number that I don't know belongs to a friend of my wife's who has gone to the emergency room to sit with my kid. She was the chaperone for the girls who had gone skating. So, I call this friend, and after a lot of hemming and hawing, she admits that wifey has gone to dinner with some random guy. Well, we always leave our location shared with the family because of my job. And sure enough, I pull up an address and Google it, and it's a ducking hotel. This was 10 p.m. It's now almost 4 hours later, and she hasn't answered my texts, but she did finally call our kid. I have permission and insurance information, and she got a cast and a referral to see an orthopedist when she gets home. The friend took our daughter back to her grandmother's and texted me. She said, "I'm sorry you had to find out this way about underscore 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 underscore." A guy's name. Apparently, it's been going on every time she's gone home that I haven't gone. Meanwhile, I've worked countless hours of overtime to pay off our house, take us on nice vacations, and send our daughter to the most expensive private school in our city. I'm a fool. Update. I spoke with a lawyer, as many of you suggested. During that conversation, I realized that she doesn't really have a lot of access to money that is hers. I removed her as an authorized user of my credit cards. Put two-factor authentication on just about anything else that she might try to get her hands on. I pulled my credit report to discover that she opened a joint credit card I didn't know about. Since I'm on the account as well, I was able to log in and print out the charges, a basically perfect timeline of restaurants and hotels that she has paid for. It turns out she also has accounts on Tinder and Bumble, which showed up when I combed through the last few phone bills. Have a pal who is a deputy sheriff in these parts who is going to be here tonight when she gets home. I've gotten her a room at a nearby hotel for the week and paid for it up front. She can sleep there for now and figure it out on her own starting tomorrow. Daughter and I spoke, and she knows what is up and is angry at mom. So the next step is to find someone for her to talk to. Thanks to my job, I've got great insurance, so that is one less thing to worry about. I decided I was also going to come clean to her mother once her wife and daughter are on the plane back here. I am taking a couple of days off to deal with this. Thanks for the advice, everyone. I'll probably yank these posts down tonight or tomorrow, so if you have any other last-minute advice, now is the time. My wife recently figured out that my friend's wife was having an affair with me. 5 years ago, right after my divorce, I met this woman at a concert. She was a bit younger than me, but we hit it off, and she wound up going to a bar with me and my friends after that show ended. It was a fun night, and we exchanged numbers. At that time, I wasn't really using any social media except Facebook, and that was just to keep up with my kids' school and activities. So, we never friended, we just texted each other. At first, the texts were casual, a little flirty every once in a while, but nothing to suggest there was any interest in anything sexual. It turns out she only lived 20 minutes from me, but we never met up or saw each other. After a couple weeks of texting, we figured out we were both going to be at the same concert again, but this time in another city. It was a guy weekend for me and a girl weekend for her. So, she and her friends met me and my friends before the concert. We did a little bar hopping together. Her and her friends were younger than me and my friends, and I was the only single one amongst my friends. My friends and I noticed none of these girls were wearing wedding rings. So, we assumed they were all not married. They were all younger than us, and there didn't seem to be much interest outside of being friends. That was fine. At the time, I wasn't interested in a relationship anyway. After going to a couple bars, we went to the concert. Her and her friends had floor tickets, and me and my friends had seats. I thought that was the end of it for that night. After the concert, me and my friends went to a bar and then to our hotels. Right after I got to my room, this woman texted me and asked if I wanted to come have some more drinks with her. She was at a place close to my hotel, so sure, I agreed. I went back out expecting to see her and her friends, but it was just her. I don't even think I finished my drink by the time we were heading back to my hotel. It was awesome. When we got back home, she started coming over to my house during the day. I have a flexible job, and most days I work from home. She travels around the area for her job, so she had time to come over during the day. She'd come over after my kids went to school and leave before they got home. Some days she was at my house almost the whole time my kids were at school. Even if it wasn't my time with the kids, she was there at the same time. Never at night, and never during the weekends. It was just a FWB-type relationship. That was perfect for me. I was involved with my kids, even coaching 2 of their teams, so it never interfered with my time with them or my friends. Also, I wasn't looking for a relationship and definitely didn't want a relationship with someone that young who may want kids. I'm done having kids. I was upfront with her about how I felt, and she was fine with it. She said she wasn't looking for a relationship either. This went on for almost a year. Eventually, I met someone, my now wife, and broke it off with her. She was fine with that too. We never texted each other again. A year after I met my wife, we got married. 2 years ago, I met this woman again at a neighborhood gathering. My wife and I were introduced to her and her husband by a friend of mine. They had recently bought the house right next to his. When we first saw each other, it wasn't awkward or anything. We just smiled and said hi. I told my wife about our past when we got home that night. My wife is very understanding. We both accept that we have had past relationships. No big deal. Her husband turns out to be a pretty cool guy. He starts hanging out with my group of guy friends, and we become friends too. This year, he joined one of my fantasy football leagues. So he added me on Facebook. After I friend him, he friends my wife. My wife takes a look at his profile and asks how long ago I was FWB with his wife. It was 5 years ago. Shepherded me a recent post that says he and his wife have been married for 8 years.